Okay. Right, right. Um, okay. All right. All right. Well, welcome to another dev stream. I'm sorry, I'm not like I'm a developer, so I'm not trying to be a professional Twitch streamer or anything. But I do want to talk about some stuff that's I think that's fun. Um, so what am I doing right now today? Well, today I want to talk a little bit about. Hold on, I need to off. This should. I don't really need sound right now. Anyway. Alright, today, what do I want to talk about today? Today I want to talk a bit about, well, level design. This is probably going to be a topic I'll be covering more and more because, level design is my main shtick, I would say. That's where my main background is when it comes to games, game design and stuff like that. Obviously game design is something I've been doing as well, but STARDROP is the first time I'm actually really like doing game design, uh, meaning like I'm actually making the mechanics instead of like having people to help me, which I had with 1187, which is an old mod I did. Anyway, so I want to talk a little bit about level design. I don't have a script or anything laid out, so I just this level is a good starting point. So what I want to talk about is, in this case, is flow, level design, level flow, and one of the things that is, there's a lot of aspect that comes to designing a level, and there's a lot of things you can use to, a lot of tricks and stuff like that you can use to make the player flow through a level like, you know, uh, without too much hassle, too much trouble. Now, obviously, in StarDrop, there's like the exploration part, so but there's also a linear pathing kind of thing going on at the same time. So finding a balance between that is very tricky. But if test out a lot of stuff and you have a solid idea of what you want to achieve, then that helps. A lot of this stuff I've learned as well is from Valve. They have insane wealth of information regarding level design and design overall. If you play through the Half-Life games with commentary on, I should probably do that again sometime soon because there's like so much they talk about. But one of the things that they mention is what was to them very important, which they play tested a lot, and I tried to do that, but obviously I'm limited. I don't have I cannot sit next to people and watch them play, which helps. And I have only have very few play testers to work with right now. So most of this stuff is me just going off of my experience and getting feedback from my PTs and other people and trying to work off of that. Anyway, so um, one of the things that Valve brought up very early on, and it's something that stuck with me ever since, is directing attention to player. Um, and various ways you can do that is let me put this as an example. Let's say you come out here, the door opens, and it's been proven through, I don't know, tests and stuff like that, that the right people always turn to the right. Most people, players will turn to the right. Right is somehow, according to psychologists, is a safe. People feel safe turning right for some weird reason. I don't know the technical details behind that or how they came to that conclusion, but apparently it seems to be true. Most people I watch, they come out and this is what they see. Now, the first thing you see is a hallway, a dark hallway, and you see the red lights all the way there. Obviously, red is a dangerous color. You know, it emotes danger. Um, so this is a reaction I saw of a lot of people. They come out and they go, "Oh shit, dark hallway," and then red, and not they don't say that, but that's how they react. And then they turn over here, and if you look over there, you see a control panel and you see a warm, inviting color, which is yellow. So most people go this way, and you don't have to go this way at all. It's just a more inviting place to go. So naturally, people are drawn to this, and then obviously, as you know, you turn on the first generator. That's your objective: turn back the generators back on. So you've done that, and then you hear Aaron talking, John, and go like, "Oh, that's another generator." Now, to help guide players, um, there's this bit here where Aaron John uh, gives Aaron a hint of use your scanner and see if you can, if that'll help you, if that will help you to find your way, because you don't know where to go. It's a little bit of a tricky thing I put in myself. It's like one going over here, but there's a gate that's locked. That's another aspect of level design that I like, is showing areas or places you could go to that are important early on. And if you look here, you can see there's another generator here, but it's closed off, so you know where you have to go. So obviously you use your object scanner and then you can very easily determine where to go. Again, there's darkness here and there's a bit of well, no light coming here. There used to be a light, I think, but use your object scanner and then you can find your way. I know my way. I designed the level. But yeah, you'll get over here and then more red light. You get to your first room and it's a security panel. This I've put in here because I didn't want to explain right away what this thing is. It's just here and you know what it is because it says security status okay, and over here it says security station, so you know this thing exists. And then over here, show, there's another Android here and it doesn't do anything and it's meant to just creep people out for now. I never intended the androids to creep people out, but that's what they've been doing ever since I put them in, so I went with it. And over here there's a safe station, people should know that by now, and a security override station here. All of this stuff is meant to just make people aware that these things are here without explaining them yet. Um, Red door, which means closed, but yeah. And then you walk all the way over here. Then you see your gate again, and then you know by now what this does. And this turns on the second power generator, and then Aaron is happy. Yay! And the gate opens up, and that's another trick, is to not to make backtracking, avoid backtracking if you don't need it. I mean, I don't mind backtracking. It's just, I don't need people to backtrack this whole area again, and it also helps to guide players of where they need to go. And obviously, since you've got both of your generators running, where you need to go is back up. And that's this level explained how I went about it and how some of these processes work. And this whole design process is actually present throughout the entire dropship section, and it's something that I will keep reusing because it works efficiently well. And you you can offer uh, other doors, other areas that go off the main path, and that's where the exploration bit comes in. Obviously, having two elevators open, it's also part of it, but it's explicitly told that you should probably go to deck 3 first. And most people actually do that. You don't have to. You can go here first if you want, but you know that's me opening up the game and giving you an option to go. You can go against anything anybody says. It's just you won't be able to do much here. That's the only drawback. The buttons are not powered up yet. You can't simply not just go in here yet. But it's an option, and I like it. I want to present as much freedom, give as much freedom as I can. And then obviously here, this is another thing. This here again, show early on where you should be going at one point. I mean, it says it right here. Security control and elevator to deck 2. So you go through all of this, and we're very, it's very linear. Go up here, and as you saw, I give a lot of security stations. I put them usually where you exit the elevator, just to make people aware. Now, the fun part of the security system in STARDROP is that it's never meant to really be a challenge. I mean, I have some ideas to make it more challenging at one point, but right now it's never meant to be like something you're going to have to be wary about too much, or it's not gonna pose much of an obstacle at this point. It's just making the player aware that that the system exists. And here, when you go in here and you reset, this is gonna take a little bit, but yeah, because this is the whole scene going out. But yeah, over here Aaron explains. Hold on, I'll just put on the scene so it won't be me being quiet, because I don't have much to say right now. But yeah, this is the security system explained. Pretty sure people who played the game already know how this.
Yeah, I got a slight issue. What's that? I'm trapped inside the main thread. The door's closed when the servers came back online, and it's also locked at the door panel. I can't get out. Yeah, that's a problem. Hold on. I should be able to open the doors from here.
I love this part. This is so funny. this bit was just popped in my head. Like, what if I do an intermission? It would be hilarious. Just out of the blue for no reason. Such a such a John thing.
That isn't that surprising. Wow. Okay. That's inconvenient.
Give me one sec. Let's check something. Okay.
What does that mean? So I have to move out of their sight. Okay. Sounds easy enough.
3, 2, 1. Okay, there you go. All right, so again, linear, linear, linear. This is where I introduce the security system because it'll be much more prominent on later parts in StarDrop. There'll be tighter securities and more sneakily placed, if that's a word. But yeah, so let's go here, and now the player knows about security systems and how they work. Or at least they should know how they work. But then again, there's always a bit of you can tell people about something, but experiencing them is a different story. So that's why I've put one right here. I wanted the design is very obvious, like where it is and where it's coming from. And as I said, it's very easy to avoid. Even if you get caught, it's like, oh, oh, I got caught. Oh, see. So yeah, and that's all by design. I did that on purpose. Huh. Okay, so we're going back now, and this is like a little bit of backtracking, but it's actually backtracking to uh, uh, how do you call it? It's backtracking so you can uh, move forward in the game. So now we introduce the Android, and that's another part of the security system. I love the Android. Oh, it's coming here, is it? Yes, it's coming here. I'm making a bit of sound, which is fine. Okay, now is it gonna hear me here? No, it's gonna go there. Again, it's quite easy to avoid if you know how to use your object scanner. I know there's not many people really use it, so I will find more ways to make that thing like you know um, show people that you actually really do need this thing. So, and this is also a design thing I like to try to do as much as I can, but it is also very difficult to do so, and that is that making areas have multiple purposes. Um, the only real place or area I really completely failed to do something like that. Well, not actually, maybe not as much as it used to be, but is this the cargo bay? Um, I love the cargo bay. I think it might be a tad too big, but I still like the cargo bay. It's an important aspect of the dropship, and it's a big dropship. Um, and the cargo bay is the biggest area, and it needed to be big because it's a dropship, and I guess maybe more suited towards supplies and things like that. You know, because the dropship is linked to the main ship, and the main ship needs to be supplied and stuff like that, and have people and troops and things like that constantly being resourced and stuff like that. Anyway, so luckily I found a way to add more function to this level, and that is access to the engine room. And there you go. This is another. Again, this is like all design stuff. I don't just happenstance do all this kind of things. I think about making a linear path while giving options to explore, and those options just open up the moment you see. Again, this is where I'm trying to be a bit sneaky, and it works. Anyway, I'm trying to open up the ship completely is when is at this point, and the reason I do it like this. What was the code again? 5690. All right, there we go. The reason I do it like this is oh god, did I? 5690. Huh. Sorry. Wait, I don't need to do this. I know the code. What the hell? The reason I do it is at this point, this is where I branch off from. I still offer the whole linear path option, because some people just, with StarDrop, I'm trying to do something that is just, it's about the experience, playing the game and having fun, and wanting to learn and find out what's going on, and getting immersed in everything. And so what I'm doing is that you can go to the bridge if you want straight and experience that whole part, which is fine. It works. It's fine. But for those who want to get the full experience, they can go back. And if you remember, and if you like hear Aaron mention this, and you remember that this gate is a security gate, you should be able to be like, okay, let's go and see if I can go here now. And yes, you can. And I'm not gonna just give you this elevator. You have to just a little bit of work. It's not much, just a tad more, and you get to this part. And I love this part because this is where, and I'm gonna put this in a contest, because I'm gonna be hosting contests at one point when we get into early access, and I already have a prize in mind, and I have a, what is it, a contest question. It's gonna be a question, and I'm not gonna say it here. I'll be, giving people time to. Oh God, what was this? Oh no, I cannot remember. Oh, hmm. Yeah. If you watch this now, then you might want to take note, because this is the funny. This is the only because it's off the beaten path. This is where I decided that, okay, usually codes and stuff like that are nearby, or not that hard to obtain. It's very easy to find them if you're stuck. I'm not gonna go have players go all throughout the ship to find this one little code. But this particular this particular interface, if you want to know what's in it, you will have to go to the bridge first, and then go to the med bay, and then go into the labs, and then you'll find a data pad, and that's where you'll get the code. So you can bring that, like on a lot of a lot of codes, passcodes are written on these things you can inspect on those com devices. You can inspect, and you can turn them around, and you find the code, and like, oh, okay, that's the code, and then it'll be like right there. Like, but with the data pad, for instance, let me see if I can quickly go there. With the data pad, you can bring that information with you, and that's another like design choice. Like the reason, because I wanted to have the inspection system be useful and not just for like random objects. So for the inspection system to be useful, I used these things. These are COM devices. You can't pick them up because they don't have a share, like they don't have a Wi-Fi or whatever it is. That's that they have. But anyway, yeah, you can inspect, and anyway, so yeah, you cannot bring that information with you unless you unless you write it down, and you're welcome to do that. It's just you probably don't really need it. Um, and then you have the data pads, which in general are usually just for story elements, backstory elements, or like give hints to things that exist or things you can find out or areas you can go, whatever. But in this case, and okay, it is what I mean. Again, this is also not meant. Like, you can check the code here, and it's not meant. Oh, and storytelling. I like another thing I learned is trying to incorporate storytelling into mechanics. Like, here's this guy complaining about. And this is a funny thing with the email system is that you can go to, you'll hear somebody complain at another interface, like over at the security station, the security control station, I think. This guy is complaining like, oh, I cannot get into that room. Why does it have to be like? Why is there a lock? And the lock is there because I wanted it there. But he's complaining about having to, excuse me, having to daily put in this code, and I did not read the code. um, 0951 there we go. And he's complaining about having to always punch in the code, and I found that was funny. And then over here, this should be the one that I was talking about. This one you can bring with you. And there you go. I had to change the password down in the experiment chamber. Now, I'm not gonna say, like, the experiment chamber doesn't have a label or a sign that says experiment chamber, because it's actually not really an experiment chamber officially. But because it brings you with you, people who go through all the codes. Oh, oops, did I mess up my game? Nah, it's okay. Who go through everything and pay attention, they will be able to deduct that there's one interface with a code, and you have a code that you haven't used yet. And this is another part. The story's everywhere, and I like that. And then over here again, you have another code that 2157, another code that is just purely there to create more background, like, you know, talking about. And this is also part of, an a backstory that, I'm not gonna explain everything, like, oh, this is what happened. I want people to piece it as much together themselves, and that's your reward for exploring. Not just, not just getting everything spoon fed to you. Yeah, that's that. And then over here, the same thing. Get on the bridge. I don't know if I should go into this, but yeah. And there you go. This is like my design philosophy for for StarDrop, and I didn't start with it. I've had, you know all these things in my head, but um, like, if you play the first part of the game, uh, when you're on errand ship, it's very linear. There's backtracking, but it's incredibly linear. There, nothing that really opens up, except for the cockpit, I guess, where John is sitting. But other than that, nothing really, you know, opens up at all. The only thing that is there is getting into John's room, and I'll admit it's a bit tricky. And again, that has been done on purpose, because I don't want people to just walk into that room, or like very easily find out how do you get into John's room. And obviously there will be people, once the forums are up and the game is out, people probably inform each other. It's just fine. I like that community bit. I'm not gonna, you know be like, oh, you're not experienced the game how I intended. I don't care. I just want, as long as people have fun. That's all I care about. How you have fun, you know, it's up to you. And anything else that I can say? Uh, well, maybe it's time to. Maybe it's time to talk a little bit about, um, you know, most sci-fi games. And as you've noticed, and this is something that some people have not complained about, but mentioned, like, oh, it's like, I want a map. And the reason there's no map in the game is because it's for exploring. I the areas that I make are not going to be incredibly huge, and I do my best to design them in a way that they're easily recognizable. And as with anything, even if you have a map, you will have to get, if you have a map, you will not try to put, you won't put as much effort into remembering, and this, like, putting effort into, like, actually distinguishing the areas for yourself. If you have a map telling you where to go, you'll just go there. You just look at your map the whole time, and that's not the point of the game. The point of the game is to soak up the whole environment, and be aware, like, how things look like and where they are. That's just a design decision I chose. That I chose. Another one of the things I might bring back into the dropship, and especially into the star dropship itself, is, um, how do you call it? Is There's a map system in the game. It's just, it's, if you walk around in Aaron's ship, you'll see maps everywhere, and it's a lot of work doing those, and I haven't done them yet here, because I don't feel you really need it, but I might add at least one or two, like a few, like, where it can benefit. mm, but that's the reason there's no map system yet. What I do have, and this ties into putting effort into knowing where you are, is on the top here. You see location deck 0 bridge mainframe, so it tells you where the location, which deck you're on, and what's on it. um, I've been playing for 31 minutes. I like that. Mission time resets every time you start a new mission. When you quit the game and you start, that resets, so you can keep track. Like you can keep track. You can see like in the corner here. You see like in the top corner. You see the actual your computer time. So it's like 9:30 for me, and I've been playing for half an hour. So you know, and it's everywhere. I just like doing that. It's I don't know why. It's maybe a stupid thing to do, but over here like you have time. 21:34. Okay, all right. Um, yeah. Okay, let's. Oh, yeah. Let me just quickly finish. The interface, aesthetic, design, HUD, and everything. The HUD is very simplistic, and it's meant to be simplistic. I don't need to make it too, you know, sophisticated. It does what it does. Your energy, your power meter, and your stamina. That's all you really need to know. And then what I did do for lights, I had used to have like icons on the menu, icons on the HUD, but I figured when you're on your light, your helmet tells you what's going on. It tells you you're in object scanner mode or you're in vision scanner mode. Obviously, you can tell if you just look at what's going on the screen, but I wanted to distinguish it that way. So it's very easy to see what's going on. And in most sci-fi games, is what I'm gonna want to mention. You'll have this. This pops up constantly. Not the glowing bit, but where it says control panel. You have that like stuff like on your screen, like waypoints kind of thing. But I wanted to avoid waypoints because that's there is an exploration part. Even if you're on a linear path, I'm not gonna. I don't want to like spill it out to you like going, oh, here you have to go and but I didn't want to make it like like incredibly hard to figure out where to go. So the object scanner, this is why it's your lifesaver, because it shows you what you can interact with. That's the glowing bit, and it shows you what it is that you're interacting with. And it also means that let me see if I can also show that quickly. Like over here, shoot, yeah, this one should not light up actually, to be honest, but yeah. Playtesting, I need that stuff. Anyway, yeah, what can I pick up? Well, everything you can pick up and inspect is also glowing. Hey, oh yeah, this is glass. This for some reason doesn't. The shader doesn't like glass, but yeah. So there you go. You can just pick stuff up and inspect, even if it doesn't really have a function. It's just fun to be able to do that. Ooh, it's a keypad. Anyway, so that's that. That's why I've been doing it the way I'm doing it, and this is the way I like to play the game. This is I'm not gonna say that it's the best way, but it's the way I would like to play the game, and I think it's a fair trade-off with giving people tools to figure out what to do versus not, you know, putting waypoint markers over the screen and have a HUD display 100,000 things. Like when you pick up a data pad, for instance, it just makes a sound. I might have an icon or something pop on the screen, but to be honest, if you play the game and you pay attention, you pay attention to it, to what you're doing, that should be enough. Anyway, let's go to the menu and then let's see if I can load up one of the missions. I don't know if it's going to work, to be honest, but let's try anyway. So I'm going to load up. Yeah, it's okay. I have to do it this way. This is the old way. Don't worry, it's already fixed, but it's not gonna work right now. I'm going to be playing the old bonus level that I revamped. Well, not revamped, I touched it up a bit. I might add voice acting to it. Okay, so this used to be like this. What I'm doing right now, I have changed that already. It just, because of my save games messed up, it's a little bit different. I have to do it the old way. The old way for side missions was to go onto your ship. I thought it was a brilliant idea to immerse people, but then I figured that if you want to play multiple side missions, going through here the whole every single time is just not worth it. So what it does now, if you probably play through the game and you play a side mission, you will just um, you will just be able to the screen will fade to black, and then you'll just be able to play the mission. It will load instantly instead of this. Um, but because my save games is broken, luckily I had the old system still in place, so I can still load up side missions this way. And then there should be the outro. Yeah, okay, don't need that. Okay. Oh, there's another thing I want to show. Alright. The station is too small, and I might in the future put a bit more work into the station itself, but for now it works. So we're gonna go over the design of this level. First, I want to show you this, and I'm gonna show you, but I'm not gonna tell you how to do it. This is when you play the main game and you finish the first chapter, and it's gonna be extended to the full game once the full game is out. You'll be able, if you play side mission or you replay the campaign again, you'll be able to do this. Ta-da! And this is just for the fun of it. This is not meant. You're not meant to play the game like this. That's why it's not available if you play the main game for the first time. But I wanted to add it in. It's fun. I like this. It's also pretty cool to make screenshots like this. Oh, and this is another thing. So there's another button very close to the first button. Is you can then pan around Aaron. You can still do like you can still turn on your flashlight, and you can do your vision scanner. See, your scanner is going off, and then there's the other scanner, and then there's the flashlight again, and it's just really just it doesn't serve a purpose other than me trying out some stuff and just having fun. I thought it was just fun to have this for some reason, and now I'm walking. Am I walking? Yeah, now I'm walking. And now I'm just normal walking, and then I'm running, and it works really well. If this was this was an action game, I'd probably give you this from the start, and I'll probably put more effort into making everything work like this. But because it's not, and StarDrop is not meant to be played like this, I am not. Oh, and there's another fun thing is that your object scanner does not work when you're in third person, because that would make no sense. You have to wear the helmet. You have to see through the helmet in order for this stuff to work. So I did went through the trouble of all these kind of things, just for a feature that is not really meant. But it just shows how much effort I try to put into everything. And I don't know where the androids are. There's supposed to be a whole bunch of androids. Oh, there's one there. Can I sneak past him? I can, but now he knows where I am. Is there another one over here? Where are the other ones? There's none over here. Oh, look, see, he's trying to spot me. If they're creepy glowing eyes. I don't know if you can still hear me. Nah, he's like standing there now. He's like, no, I don't know. Oh, there's another one. Is there one over here? Let's see. Ah, no, I knew it. He spotted me. I actually wanted to go over the design of this because this was one of the first levels I made to really test the androids. It's actually a development map, a dev map, as you can call it. But because I had so much fun with doing this and it was so solid, the experience, even though it's more challenging, and that's what the side missions are about being more challenging. But because they are more challenging, I didn't put it in the main game. And the further you get into StarDrop, like when the full game is out, I will ramp up difficulty a bit more, like to be representative of what you see here, but never this difficult. I would most likely just remove one of the androids because it's a bit too tedious. Like there's three of them in this narrow. It's very it's quite frustrating. It's quite a frustration to. It's frustrative to play this level, and I don't know what the hell's going on here. Anyway, so I don't want this level of frustration or, oh god, tediousness of having to play through the game in the main game. But as a side mission, this is perfectly fine. And the new side mission I'm working on will have a different, will also be challenging, but in a different way. This is more based around the security system, and the new mission that's coming out is going to be based around a, what is it? It's going to be based around. Let's head back. Let's see what happens if I should be able to get back. It will be based around. I haven't completed it, but you can go back, and I think you go to the menu or you go back to the station. Yeah, you go back here. Let's test something out for myself. Let's see if I can choose another. No, it goes back unless I finish this mission. Oh wait, no. Wait, let me see here. Okay, cool. I can select another one. Huh. Is this gonna go back? Nah, it's not. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, it's gonna be based around security codes and more environmental stuff and things like that. Anything else I would like to talk about? Why is this thing not working? Didn't I press that? Oh no, we have a bug. Why is there a bug? Oh no, there's a bug in my live stream. Don't worry, it's fine. It should not be. This should not happen when you play properly. Like, all right, let's see if this is still selected. Yes. Is the oh, see, there you go. Now it works. This is what's supposed to happen. It fades to black and then it loads the mission. So much better. A little bit of a preview of the next level, of the new upcoming mission. It's actually already in the Steam build. I have to disable it because it's just not finished yet. And so if you want to play it, be my guest and play it before I patch it out. And then it'll return once the full thing is released and done. Because now it's just there's cutscenes and everything, but there's no voice acting or anything in it. So and no, well, the polish is actually already pretty much done. There's not much I want to add to this, but I like this kind of thing. I like this level. This is one of my favorites, and I cannot wait until I can get the full thing out. And yeah, this is another thing I wanted to demonstrate with this new upcoming mission to backers and people who are gonna buy the game through early access, is that I want to put in a lot of diversity into the side missions, and I want the side missions to be just as like the value, the design, how do you call it? The effort I will put into them is just going to be the same as I do in like the main game, and I might be able to create a few more interesting stories. But the only thing is that the stories are interesting and they help shape the world, of StarDrop, or the universe, I would say. Um, but the main game is gonna be story wise is gonna be, you know, it's gonna be the most uh, important thing, the thing you'll take away from playing StarDrop is that story. Uh, um, and I cannot wait to tell it. But I have other stuff like, other ideas, other things that I would like to talk about that I think are, or that I would like that I think are pretty cool to experience in this universe, and yeah, I will do a bunch more. Um, During early access, I'll put out a few. I'm hoping to put out about 3 or 4, including this one, before the main game comes out. Um, um, they will vary in size. This is actually going to be a bit one of the larger ones. One of the bigger ones going to be about 3 levels. Now they won't be as big as the levels in the dropship section, but they'll be substantial enough. Like they will provide some fun extra, like half an hour, I think at the most. This one would be 20 minutes, about half an hour, and it'll give you some more stuff to immerse yourself with. And then as the game grows, there'll be more missions, and some will be maybe more challenging than others, and others will be more interesting in the kind of story I'm trying to tell. Maybe a side mission that uh, uh, will actually uh, um, how do you call that? Oh my god, I'm so sorry. That will actually be connected to the main story, but I'm not too sure about that. But there's a lot of ideas I have that I want to play with, and yeah, this is the one right now that I'm playing with, and I'm not gonna show you too much. I just wanted to show you a little bit, and I thought doing it on a planet service on a mining outpost would be fun. You know, I thought I showed this the last stream because, and I'm showing it now because I love it, and I really need to get back into this. Anyway, so this I'm gonna quit to my desktop. This is the main segment of my stream for today. But the last thing I wanted to say is this. Um, I've been doing the what was it I've been doing I've done the Kickstarter campaign, and now I'm doing the StarDrop crowdfunding initiative. And I actually found out the other day. I don't know why I didn't look into it sooner, because I was too much into the Kickstarter camp. But I went to Indiegogo, and I'm not able to do a proper campaign on Kickstarter right now due to a few you know problems I have. But I'm actually not hindered by these issues when it comes to Indiegogo. And one of the issues was that I'm not situated in a country that Kickstarter supports. And I had the help of Salmi before, but she's like very busy right now, and she's been running her own campaign, and um, you know, and she's been away, I think, for a while, for like I don't know, she's been away as well. So I just cannot like you know involve her at this point with a new campaign. That's one of the reasons why I haven't. It's not all of them, but that's one of the reasons. But Indiegogo is far more. I'm not gonna say better because Kickstarter is still the biggest one, and I would like to have gone back there, but Indiegogo at least allows more freedom on my behalf in terms of how I run the campaign. I mean, from what I've seen, and the thing that I found out the other day was that I actually can run a campaign based out of Singapore, which I am currently located, and I need to get out of Singapore. Well, I don't need, but I kind of have to, um, and I want to because I've been here for a long time, and I want to go back to Holland. This is where I grew up, uh, and you know, I want to go back. So I'm gonna, um, but I'm able to run a campaign from Singapore. So I have been heavily like contemplating if I'm going to do that, and I think I might actually do that before I launch on early access. So I can actually one of the things that I that is that I find important is growing the community around the game. And I know being in early access will do that automatically, but it also means I'm selling the game, and I don't mind that. I don't mind early access too much, to be honest. But I would love to have a bit more time and a bit more resources and a bit more funding to set up my life properly, and to uh, buy some time to grow the community a bit more and do some more ads, do some more like have a bit more time to contact like people around the web, YouTubers, Let's Players, streamers, do some more media coverage, and a bit more time of polishing up chapter one. And I actually want to get this new side mission done before I go to Steam. And right now I might be able to do that, but I'm not 100% sure. So, yeah, I'm heavily contemplating on pausing the STARDROP crowdfunding initiative, and go to Indiegogo. This means for backers who, if you're watching this as a backer, it's gonna be the same campaign. It's just gonna be on a platform that people frequently visit, and I don't have to uh, find my own backers like just me. It'll be the platform itself that will, um, uh, you know, people will go there and check it out, and I'll continue to promote, but uh, it'll be the same rewards. I'm not gonna change anything if I do it. So anybody who has been backing us, don't worry, it won't, nothing will change. It'll be the same thing. The only downfall I would say, or the downside would say, is that you won't get your key if like let's say a new backer goes to if you go to SCE now, you will get your key once I get your email and I get your confirmation of your pledge and blah blah blah, and I'll send out a key straight. And with Indiegogo, I would have to wait until the end of uh, the end of the campaign when it's finished, and I don't have to reach the goal that I'm going to set, which is not going to be as much as last time, but it's going to be enough for me to properly set stuff up and continue work and buy some time and stuff like that, and also give a little bit back to the team as well. Um, anyway, what was I talking? Oh my god, a lot of things going on in my head. Anyway, so yeah, the Indiegogo will generate hopefully more more funds. But I won't be able to give out a key straight. Like if you back now on ECI, I'll give it. If then I have to wait until the end of the campaign, and if I reach the goal or not, that doesn't really matter because I'm gonna set it to whatever we raise. That we'll get that, and that's fine. Anything at this point helps. And I also want to mention that thanks for backing. If you have backed, then you have no idea how much that meant. It's not like an insane amount, but it did help me in the last few weeks to smoothing out life a little bit, just a tad. Be able to get a new mouse, so I don't have this stupid double click thingy. Oh, that was so annoying, man. I was like working in the editor, and then I wanted to move an object, and I double click, and I don't know, it did something. I have to like Control Z twice sometimes to go back and make sure that what I do was done properly, or I would just, you know, I don't know. Anyway, that's fine. I don't have that issue, so thank you. Ugh. Anyway, yeah. So that's it for today. I will be doing more streams because I wanna talk about stuff. I'm going to see if I'm not sure when the next one will be. I don't have a schedule yet. I'll probably find my schedule at some point, but for now, I am looking and thinking towards the weekend, and I am also thinking of inviting Aaron or Rob to join and do a bit of an interview. Like we've done one like two already when we're doing the Kickstarter, but I want to do a fresh one. We'll probably go over some of the new some of the old stuff that we talked about there, but yeah, it'll be fun. Anyway, I'm gonna host this video up over at YouTube so people can still watch it, and yeah, thanks for. I don't have any viewers, I think. Nah, but that's fine. Still growing. I'll just keep telling myself that. Anyway, but you're probably gonna watch this on YouTube, and if you do, then thanks for watching, and take care.